is nothing like a Jackie Chan movie to put you in a good mood. And that's how I felt coming away from The Young Master. In spite of its problems with its pacing and plot, I find myself completely enraptured with this movie. Like there are problems with it, to be sure. Like I don't think it's like the quintessential martial arts movie or anything like that. I think this was before Jackie really refined his unique take on action comedy and like really established himself as like this incredibly unique talent. But the strokes of genius are already there. Like there are plenty of great scenes in this movie, and that's what I really want to emphasize here. Is that like there are great scenes, like the dragon dance at the beginning, the fight at the end. Well, the fights throughout really like there are plenty of things to like about this movie. Essentially, like all of the actors do a great job of like really encompassing unique situations, and like they do a great bit of they do really good jobs of really building up these characters and giving them a lot of personality. It almost feels like an anime structure. It felt really, it had that sort of anime appeal to me where everybody has like their unique role and their like place in society. Like nobody feels generic. And there are like these, you know, characters that aren't as fleshed out or as interesting. Like, why are the policemen so like incompetent? Why are they so fucking stupid? Like, why are they just? I'm talking about the mook policeman, not the fucking police chief and his kid who are like cool. Like, there are things to like about this movie. Like, I find myself enjoying it overall. However, there are instances where like it gets so goofy, it's like kind of impossible to take seriously. Like, it's impossible to like believe it would actually happen. So, okay, so what is a good example of this? For one thing, there's a scene. I think the middle act is where this film suffers the most because it's where the characters are already established and like they're trying to set up the climax, but there are so many characters and so much stuff going on and like so many fight scenes. It doesn't really mesh very well. Like they do a good job of establishing who Brother Jing is at the beginning, like why he falls out from this martial arts school, why he leaves, why Jackie goes after him. But after that, like it becomes this weird sort of thing where Jackie Chan is mistaken for his brother because like they're wearing the same uniform or something like that, and he gets jumped by police because like the brother has committed a crime. So Jackie Chan is jumped by these policemen, and they somehow can't seem to and they go on for they go on with this case of mistaken identity for way too fucking long. Like over half an hour, I think, is like Jackie Chan's being accosted by these policemen, being jumped by these guys just because they think he's someone else. Like he's fighting these people, and there are cool moments here, like the whole bit with like the pipe and stuff like that. But as a whole, it feels rather pointless compared to the overall plot. Like I would have preferred, the entire thing be about Jackie and Jing, right? Like, and they're following out, and like Jackie going after him. Like Jing, after he leaves, is almost completely out of this movie. Like there's this one fight scene where he's fighting with these criminals to free this guy who's in this prison convoy, and they get him free. And then Jing gets betrayed, and then Jackie has to fight the guy they freed to free Jing, basically, to absolve him of his crimes, basically. Jackie doesn't seem to give a shit that like Jing did something wrong. Again, the problem with this is just in general, it feels disjointed. It feels like it doesn't come together very well. Again, as much as I love the fight scenes, I think they overshadowed like actually progressing the plot in a meaningful way, actually being coming together. Like a lot of them feel pointless. Like there's this scene after Jing gets thrown in the prison where this random guy starts fighting these criminals, and I was just like, who is this guy? Like, do I know him? Have we seen this guy before? And I don't think we did. I don't think we've seen this guy before. Like, I had no idea what the fuck was that was about, other than like just showing off some more stunt work, like really cool scenes, really. But that was one of those instances where like that really didn't need to be there really. Like maybe in another movie about like some random beggar who beats up like just random guys on the street. Like I don't know. Like I could have seen that work, but it didn't really. And that also goes true for the final act, right? Where Jackie Chan faces down this guy. Okay, this entire climax, it's so strange. Like it's so good in some ways, and then like so terrible in others. For one thing, it goes on way too long. Like you get the impression that Jackie is like completely outmatched, like for the entire thing. Like this entire fight takes like 20 minutes or something ridiculous like that. Jackie is like completely outmatched by this guy for the entire thing, but he keeps getting back up. And it doesn't come off as endearing. It comes off as really cheap. Like no one could actually take this punishment. Like it comes off like too cinematic, really. Like that's my problem with the stunt work in general. Is like it feels like it's very very artificial at times. Like sometimes it's great. Like usually it's great, but when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. And I think with his climax, like there are several instances of that. Like where Jackie Chan fights this guy, he gets knocked down twice. Like by that point, you would think he's like completely outmatched, but then this guy, one of the villainous guys, by the way, comes up to him and is like, "Hey, have you noticed he only attacks using his left foot?" And that turns out that's true. So Jackie Chan like immediately like attacks this guy, you keeping that in mind, which could be interesting, right? Like Jackie Chan should be obviously taking advantage of this guy's like apparent weakness, right? Like really going in on that. But they don't really do a good job of really building that up, having him like make that realization, having it like mean anything in the end. It's just sort of something that like they just sort of did. Like I get the impression that they like they filmed Jackie Chan getting knocked down like a bazillion times, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna put all of this in the movie, and then like one clip of Jackie Chan like getting the upper hand for no apparent reason. Like I'm not exactly sure. I'm still not exactly sure how Jackie Chan managed to get the better of this guy in the end. Like he just sort of like gets back up, looks really really angry, sort of like a Super Saiyan Goku, like Ultra Instinct Jackie, and then he sort of like comes after this guy and is like finally starts to overpower him. It's just like I don't know, man. Like I could have seen that happening like earlier in the fight, but man, when you get the shit beat out of you so badly, like something like 10 or 15 times, like I want to say like 10 or 12 times he gets knocked down in this fight. Like you would think he wouldn't be able to do that, but he somehow is, and like it's cool, it really is, but it's just like it's just one of those things that goes on too long and just overall makes you ask too many questions about it. And that's the whole movie in general, is that, man, this could have been amazing. Well, it was amazing in its own way. Like, I really did like this. But it could have been, I'm not sure I would call it like one of the best movies ever or anything for this particular reason, is that like it just stretched its strengths too far. It just did not progress naturally. It did not try to like go outside of its comfort zone, I would say. I feel like it could have been an absolute masterpiece if it just ironed out the kinks and just managed to really overcome itself. And despite that, I highly recommend this. This is a lot of fun to watch. I highly suggest it. Check this one out. I really enjoyed it.